Have you ever seen your own epiglottis?
What?
Have you ever seen your epiglottis? It's a very straightforward question. You've either seen your epiglottis or you haven't seen your epiglottis.
Hang on, is your epiglottis your Adam's apple?
No, it's down the back of your throat, and it's sort of windpipe, vocal cords, all that. It's down there.
Okay, so this is good. You went to a doctor, right?
I had an ENT guy, and he put this camera up my nose and then down my throat, and then he said, "Do you want to see it?" And I was okay. And you know that sequence in Alien where where the jaws finally open and you go in. You go in and you see all the glands and the dripping mucus. That is what it's like. It was the most horrendous thing. Yeah.
So did it hurt?
It was just incredibly uncomfortable, as you can imagine, having a camera put up your nose and down your throat.
But was it painful, uncomfortable?
No, it wasn't. Uncomfortable? He then got me to sing and to say count to 5, and he said count to 5.
What, whilst the camera was up your nose?
Yeah, and down my throat. And then the bit that made me laugh was he said count to 5 out loud. I was thinking, well, counting to 5 in my head wouldn't be helping very much. Anyway,
Wow.
He didn't. Everything is fine, but it was just thoroughly incredible. And I saw my windpipe. I'd never seen my windpipe before.
What, from the inside?
Yeah, well, from inside my throat, anyway.
So the epiglottis is the epiglottis the bit that hangs down? Which is the bit that, you know, in cartoons, if you touch it, you throw up? The dangly bit in the back of the throat. The bit that dangles.
Yeah, don't know.
No, okay, fine. So the epiglottis is actually the bit, because I asked this partly because I have to go and have an ENT thing as well.
Oh right, okay.
Because I don't know what it is. I've sounded bunged up for the last 3 months, and so something's happened in my head, so I've got to go and have somebody stick a camera up my nose.
There are worse places to stick a camera.
Yes,
had that as well.
Yeah, there is one of my favourite film reviews of all time, and Simon Paul, you can't cut this out because it was a film review that was printed in the Chicago, Tribune, whatever it was, the Roger Ebert paper, and Roger Ebert said he was reviewing the Cannes premiere of The Brown Bunny by Vincent Gallo, and he said, "I had a colonoscopy once. They let me watch it on television, and it was better than The Brown Bunny."
Yeah, that's good. I think that's absolutely fine. And when I was offered the chance of watching, I said, no, thank you very much. You just get on with it. The epiglottis is, of course, the leaf-shaped flap in the throat that prevents food from entering the windpipe and the lungs. It stands open during breathing, allowing air into the larynx. During swallowing, it closes to prevent aspiration of food into the lungs. Whether that's the bit that you're talking about, I don't know. I'm sure
the bit in a cartoon, if you open a baby's mouth or something, there was in a cartoon, they've got a bit waggling around.
That's right. On last week's show, Mark was struggling to identify the, and I quote, dangly bits found at the back of one's throat. This is because I'd been to see the ear, nose and throat specialist and had seen down the back of my throat, which from a camera which had gone up my nose, and then I saw my windpipe and voice.
And your epiglottis is what you said. You said, have you ever seen your own epiglottis?
And Lewis says, I immediately knew that what he was referring to was in fact called the uvula, UVULA, not because I'm a doctor or a nurse, but because I was once a cinema protectionist. Part of my job involved...
You run a protection racket. You come around the cinema and go, it's a nice cinema, I wouldn't want anything to happen to it.
Give us a tenner. Part of my job involved print checking all the prints that we exhibited. One such print being the underrated 2006 animated movie Monster House. Mark has obviously forgotten that towards the end of said movie, this is a spoiler, the three central characters discover that the titular house is in fact a living, breathing monster with all the required anatomy for devouring small children. Thus, towards the movie's climax, we get a brief discussion of the uvula in what I still maintain is quite an adult gag for a kid's movie. Thank you, Lewis. And equally, this next email is also stress test from Catlin in Edinburgh. Simon and Mark, I was possibly Caitlin. I was pleasantly surprised during last week's podcast to hear Mark's unintentional ode to one of the most culturally significant songs of 2020, which is, of course, WAP. It brought me great joy to hear Mark describe the uvula as the thing that, quote, dangles at the back of the throat in uncanny Cardi B fashion. Each time I listen to the song, Mark is all I can hear, and the song is only made better for this. Thank you both for providing the Wittertainment / Cardi B crossover that I never knew I needed. P.S. Please don't start Googling what this song's full name is or any of the other lyrics. Best to be in a state of blissful confusion on this one. So I, of course, no.
Did exactly that.
No, I did exactly that. And no, we're not going to play any of it.
Really?
WAP is obviously Wittertainment and Popcorn. But people will either know instinctively. You have no idea?
Hang on. No, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm now going to Google
look it up.
No, I'm just going to Google it. Hang on. Is it
don't.
Cardi B? How do you spell that? Cardi, C-A, like Cardi.
C-A-R-D-I, and then B for Brian.
B. Okay, what's the song called?
WAP, W-A-P. It would W-A-P.
Capitals? Right, hang on.
Yes.
WAP, song by Cardi B.
Okay.
Hang on 1 second.
And look something up on the radio.
But now, do I look for the lyric? Oh,
no.
You definitely can't say that. Okay, hang on.
Exactly.
Can't
say that. Can't say that.
Yeah, can't say that.
Can't say that. Can't say that.
Where's the bit that I said? Wow.
Well, the bit you were talking about dangling at the back of the throat. And
yeah.
Okay. Anyway, all you need to know.
It doesn't actually say that, does it?
All you need to know is
I just feel like
Caitlin, whenever she hears the song, is thinking of you.
Oh, I found it. Oh my. Yes, I found it. Right. Lordy.
That is indeed the official translation, which we're allowed.
And now, when she hears that, she hears me.
Yes, that's right. Which is really quite a disturbing thought. So I'm going to move on. Can you close that page now?
Yeah, I should delete my search history, probably, shouldn't I?
Yes, that's right. I think you should certainly clear all searches.
Good Lord.
Exactly.
Was that a hit played on the radio?
It's an iconic hit, Child 2 tells me. Iconic, huge, absolutely everywhere. Very, very big indeed.
Did you go to Child 2? Do you know Dangly?
No, I asked Child 2 whether to say WAP or whether to say WAP, and Child 2 says you say WAP. It's an iconic hit. So there you go.
What does that stand for?
I'm not going to tell you. The answer is in the lyrics. Please, don't look it up now.
No, hang on. No, I'm sorry, but I want to know now. Hang on. Otherwise, this is now going to bother me. Hang on. What does...
just look at the lyrics.
I looked at them. I had to close them. What did WAP mean?
Okay, so we'll be back with the.
Oh, I see. Fine. I saw.
Right.
I didn't realize that was okay. Fine. Good.
It stands for that.
Okay. It stands for that. Okay. Wittertainment and Popcorn. That's.
Can we go with that?
Very good.